First thing we gotta do is the thumbnail. Let's see how this goes. Yeah. No. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Hold on. Whoop. Nope. 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 Forget it. Just forget it. Okay, I'm done with this. Hello, it's Kayla, and today I will be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. That is a mouthful. As always, I will be leaving the original tag in the description below. I was not tagged personally by anybody, but I feel like this is a good way to track your goals for the year and what you've accomplished so far in the year of 2017. And this tag has been around for a while, and it's just a good way to keep track of the books that you're reading. So I'm just gonna get into these questions, just a bunch of questions about the books that you have already read this year and your goals for the year to come. It is June, almost the end of June. We're coming to the halfway mark. I'm doing very well with my Goodreads goal. Actually, I kept it at 45 books like I do every year, and I'm very much so ahead of schedule. I'm like 10 or 11 books ahead of schedule. I'm like 69% done. I've read 31 books this year so far, so I'm feeling pretty good. I can't wait to get into these questions because they're very fun and there are a lot of books to get through, so let's do that. So of course, the very first question is your favorite book of the year so far. I think I'm going to be talking about a book that everybody's been picking. It's a very obvious answer. I'm not even going to do any preamble. That's right, it is Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. I can't express how much I love this book, how much it made me laugh and cry and give me all of the feelings as usual when it comes to Cassandra Clare. It just amazes me how well over the years, how with each book that Cassie puts out, her writing just keeps getting better and better, and this is no exception. This is probably her best work I've read ever so far, so I can't wait for more to come. And it's very devastating that we have to wait 2 years for the last book in the Dark Artifices series, because I don't know how I can wait that long. Like, I want it in my hands now, but at least we have the First Last Hours book that's coming out next year. Chain of Thorns? Chain of Thorns. I think that's it. Next question is the best sequel that you've read this year, and again, this was a very easy one for me at least, and that was The Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling. If you don't know, I'm reading not Percy Jackson. I'm so sorry. I'm reading the Harry Potter series for the first time, and it's been a slow process. I started reading them a little over a year ago, I want to say, and I'm only 3 books in, and this was actually, The Prisoner of Azkaban was the very first book I read this year, and I enjoyed it so much. It's my favorite book that I've read so far in the Harry Potter series, and I am planning on reading The Goblet of Fire this summer, so hopefully I will get to that soon, but this was just absolutely amazing. Another great installment in the Harry Potter series. Everybody knows that. I'm so behind, but I'm just loving reading these books for the first time and experiencing that, and this was just a great book. Next question is there a new release you haven't read yet but need to read ASAP? And I have 2 books for this question, and they are History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera and The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Both of these books I just really, really need to get to because, one, they're both incredibly diverse and important books that people really should be reading, and I've heard nothing but good things. They're by authors that are absolutely amazing people. I've met both Adam and Angie, and I love them so much. I haven't read anything by Angie yet, but I'm really excited to read this book because this is her debut novel, obviously. But I read More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera, and I loved it. This book came out in January. This book came out in, I believe, March? April, I want to say. But yeah, I really hope to get to these 2 soon. The 4th question is your most anticipated releases for the rest of the year, and I have a couple because the first one I want to talk about is Warcross by Marie Lu. I know this one doesn't really count because I have the arc of it, so I'm not really anticipating it coming out because I have it in my hands and I cannot wait to read it. It sounds awesome, but the other book that I'm going to be talking about is a kind of like a consolation book, and that is All the Cricket States by Maggie Stiefvater. And this book I'm so excited for because if you don't know, I'm obsessed with her Raven Cycle series, and I cannot wait to read this one. I can't even explain the concept to you, the summary, because it's just typical Maggie Stiefvater where it's like you cannot describe this book. There are so many things going on and so many interesting things, but basically this book is about a family who can perform miracles, and that's all I know about it so far. And Warcross is about a girl who can is a hacker and can do stuff in video games, and then she accidentally enters a tournament in a video game, the video game Warcross, and then she kind of becomes this internet sensation on accident, and then the creator of Warcross asks her to kind of be an inside man to figure out like some glitchy stuff that's going on in the game, and I don't know. I don't really know much, but I'm really excited to read it. Next question is biggest disappointment that you read this year, and these books are very disappointing. In my case, it's not just one book, but it's a whole trilogy, and that is the Delirium trilogy by Lauren Oliver. I love Lauren Oliver. I've read Before I Fall, I read Panic, I loved those books, but Delirium, I just felt like it was a waste of my time because I read these books back to back. I actually listened to the audiobooks over winter break, and they were just very underwhelming for me. There wasn't really any payoff in the end. I just felt like I would have been fine living my life without having read these books, so they're kind of a waste, big disappointment. This year hasn't really been a good reading year for me. I've read a lot of good books, but I've also read a few subpar books, but these were the ones that just disappointed me the most because I had high expectations for them. Next question is, what was the biggest surprise for you? Which book? And I didn't really have a distinct book that I could say was this surprised me. Like, I didn't think it was going to be that great, but it was actually amazing. I had a pretty good idea of the books going into them for the most part, so I think I'm going to be picking Deadly Class Volume 5 because when I think of surprise, I think of the volume before this, Volume 4, and how it ended and how I was very upset and I didn't know how they were going to come back from that last volume, and I wanted to see where it went, and this was a very pleasant surprise, this volume. I was so happy with it, especially the ending of this volume. If you guys haven't started reading the Deadly Class series, the graphic novel series, I highly recommend it. It's such a good comic book series, and you need to read it. The next question is your favorite new author, whether it be new to you or a debut author, and it is going to be the latter for me, a new author to me that I just started reading very early on in the beginning of this year. Technically, like right before the year started, like the last few days of December, but I'm gonna cheat a little bit. So I'm going to say, again, Adam Silvera, because I read More Happy Than Not like right before January, and I loved it, and I think Adam is not only a great writer but a great person, and I loved this book so much, and it made me cry so much, but it was so good, and I am very happy to be reading more of Adam's work in the future. I have History Is All You Left Me, I have the arc of They Both Die at the End, which I will be reading very soon as well, so I'm excited to read more by Adam because this was awesome. Next question is your favorite fictional crush that you have been introduced to this year, in the year of 2017, and I didn't really have a lot to choose from, honestly, but there was one man that stuck out above the rest that I absolutely love, and that is Kel from the Shades of Magic series by V.E. Schwab. I love Victoria Schwab, I love her writing, and I love her characters. They're just so well-rounded, and they come alive off the page, and they're so multifaceted. None of her characters are like cookie cutter perfect, and they're not just strictly evil either. All of her characters are kind of morally gray, which I love, but Kel above the rest, I just love him so much, and I kind of have a thing for guys with red hair. I don't know why, it's just something that I gravitate towards. The next question is your favorite fictional character overall that you've been introduced to this year, and I couldn't pick just one because there are so many great characters to choose from. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is Delilah Bard from the Shades of Magic series. I just talked about Kel, and I'm going to be talking about his counterpart, Delilah. She is just so awesome and badass and everything I want to be. She's everything I aspire to be. She's just so cool and witty and smart, and like, even though she can be really reckless at times, do what she wants, she's the best thief ever. I can't say more about how much I love her because there's so many things to say, but yeah, Delilah Bard, she's an awesome thief, pirate, kick-ass girl who likes knives, and she's awesome. And the other character I want to talk about for a little bit is Kit from The Lord of Shadows, and We were introduced to Kit in Lady Midnight, but we really didn't get a sense of his character that much until Lord of Shadows, and then we had all kinds of character development with Kit, and I love him so much. He's another well-rounded character, and to be honest, okay, I'm gonna be spoiling like a tiny thing, Lord of Shadows, so when my hand comes down, I'll stop spoiling. So here's the hand, and now here we go. Kit is my favorite Arendelle. Honestly, people are gonna be like, no way, Will's the best, but honestly, I like Kit more than Will or Jace. I think he's absolutely awesome, and him and Ty are so cute together, and I can't take it. Ugh. And between us, I'm a gem girl. Sorry. Anyway, but yeah, I love Kit. He's great. Okay, no more spoilers, but yeah, he's awesome. I can't say more about Kit because you have to read about him to know what I mean. The next question is a book that made you cry, and I could pick the obvious answer of Lord of Shadows because in all honesty, I don't think I've cried harder than I ever have than reading the ending of Lord of Shadows. Like, I think about it, and I think about like the top 5 books I've cried the hardest on, and this is up there. This is like 2, if not 1. So I cried really, really hard in Lord of Shadows, but I didn't want to keep picking this book over and over again, so I also had an alternative answer, and that was Saga Volume 7 by Brian K. Vaughan, and I love this comic book series. This is like, it's so good. So many people love Saga as well as me, and this volume just came out this year, and the ending of this volume was just so devastating, and I cried, and I was very upset, and I have so many feelings, and I just need to know that this family is okay because they're going through some rough times right now. And the next question is a book that made you happy, and when I think of happy, I think of contemporary, but the thing is, I have not read any contemporary this year so far, so it was kind of hard to pick a book that made me happy. So I picked a current read along with A Conjuring of Light. I am also reading right now Landline by Rainbow Rowell. This is the first technical contemporary I'm reading because there is some like science fictional elements in here. I'm actually listening to the Landline audiobook, and it is absolutely amazing. I love it so much, but just listening to it, I feel like I get such more of a pleasurable experience reading the book, and I can't really say that for most audiobooks. Even though I love audiobooks so much, I feel like you get a different feeling when you listen to a book instead of reading it, but in this case, it just enhanced my reading experience, and I love it so much, and it's so cute, and it's making me so happy. I'm about halfway through the book right now, so I can't wait to finish it. Next question is your favorite book to TV or movie adaptation that you loved this year, and I haven't really seen a lot. There have been a few things that were absolutely great, like 13 Reasons Why and Big Little Lies. Like, I haven't read Big Little Lies, the book, so I can't say that one was awesome, because if I had read the book, then I would have chosen that because it was absolutely awesome. But I'm going to choose a movie for this answer. More than 13 Reasons Why, I loved Before I Fall. The Before I Fall movie was so good, if not better than the book, and I don't say that a lot for book to movie adaptations because it's usually the other way around, but I feel like this movie was so well done and I liked it even more than the book, to be honest. Next question is one where you can kind of choose which one to answer, and it's your favorite review or favorite video overall that you have filmed this year. I don't really do reviews often, and I haven't really posted a lot of videos this year. I've posted 4 videos in the year of 2017 so far. I'm so sorry. But I'm gonna be choosing from those 4. So the videos that I'm really proud of are my BookCon videos, like my vlogs. I think those are really awesome. I love making vlog videos, and I've realized that. Like when I made the Tales from Shadowhunter Academy vlog, I had so much fun editing that. I had so much fun editing my BookCon vlogs. Those are the ones that I really enjoy. And yeah, I'm just really proud of those. So if you haven't seen them already, they just came out recently, so I'll leave the links in the description below. Next question is the most beautiful book cover that you have read this year. And this was a hands down no-brainer for me. I read 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray this year, and this book is just gorgeous. It has a futuristic London on top, Russia on the bottom. It's so pretty, as are the rest of the series covers, but I haven't read the other books yet, but I'm planning to when I buy them. I don't have them right now, but this book was very good, and I'm very excited to see where this goes. But this cover is so pretty, I can't. And the last question is, what is the book/books that you have to read by the end of this year? I'm just gonna go through a lineup right now. We have here A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, The Monsters of Variety duology by V.E. Schwab, This Savage Song and Our Dark Duet, the last 2 books in the Legend trilogy, Prodigy and Champion by Marie Lu, and the last 2 books in the Vampire Academy series, Spirit Bound and Last Sacrifice by Rochelle Mead. So that is all I have for you today. That was the mid-year, what is it? That was the mid-year book freakout tag. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed me trying to hold a bunch of books and sort through them because it's just a mess right now. Like, I'll show you. Take a look at this. Wait. Look at all the books. Oh, I fell. Like, do you see this? Like, why do I do this to myself? I don't know. I can't. Ah! This is gonna be great. Cleaning up. Oh no, I'm stepping on them. Okay. Bye. Anyway, this is me signing off. I will see you sooner rather than later with a new video. Bye!